Guys, there was a time limit on the last video, so we left off at the numbered lines in the last video, so I'm gonna show you what we still need to cover since last time. So now I'm gonna cover the numbered lines in this part, because in part 1 I did all the lettered lines that were different. So for those of you who haven't watched the second part, the lines that remain mostly unchanged and are still the same as before are the B, D, E, G, R, W, 42nd Street and Franklin Avenue shuttles, hold on, let me try it again. So the lines that remain mostly unchanged and are still the same as before are the B, D, E, G, R, W, Z, and 42nd Street and Franklin Avenue shuttles. Those are the ones that are still the same. The other ones, like I didn't mention, those are completely different. So I'll put a link to watch the last video in the description to see what I've changed in part 1, because the recording cut off. So, like I was describing the 9 train. Alright, hold on, let me center back to see where we were. The Staten Island Railway also remains unchanged as well. That's one thing I haven't changed, because I don't frequent Staten Island along with the other boroughs. So, for starters, the 9 train runs a little bit differently than it used to. It runs local to Chambers Street, which it used to, and then runs express between Chambers Street and 34th Street Penn Station. Then runs local to 96th Street. Then runs express to make stops at 125th Street, 168th Street, Dykeman Street, Marble Hill 225th Street, and Cortlandt Park 242nd Street and 262nd Street. So this also describes what the 1 train does now. The 1 train has 3 new stations at 251st Street, Marshall Avenue, and 262nd Street. Also add the 9 train at this stop as well. So this 207th is just going to be the 1 train. Alright, so that explains the 1 and 9. So now I'm going to move on to the 2. The 2 was extended. The 2 has a bunch of new stops. So the 2 and 5 part ways at Brooklyn College Flatbush Avenue. And the 5 runs to Kings Plaza, which I will explain in a little bit. So the 2 train has, hold on, let me count. 7 new stations along Nostrand Avenue. So Avenue J, Avenue M, Marine Parkway, Jarrettson Avenue, Avenue U, Avenue X, and Voorhees Avenue. So that's what I changed to the 2 train, pretty much. Other than that, it remains unchanged. Alright, now for the 3 train. The 3 train kind of runs now like it used to. So the 3 train now goes to 7th Avenue West 155th Street, and then into the Bronx, partly via the Meckup's Dam Bridge, or on its own bridge, I don't know. Anyways, has a new connection to the B and D at 161st Street Yankee Stadium. Then runs local along the 4 line, which now allows for the 4 to run express. The 4 will run express full time. So the 4 will make all stops. The 3 train will terminate at Marshall Parkway instead of Woodlawn, and the 4 will go there instead. So it serves all the old 4 train stops that the 4 used to serve. So yeah, that's pretty much what it does. So now we're on to the 4 train. The 4 didn't have any new stations added to it. The 4 was more of like a kind of a service extension, but it did get changed a little bit. So the 4 was extended past its terminal at Crown Heights Utica Avenue. Now runs express to new lots with the 3 train. Stops at has 3 new 3 other stations at Junius Street and Sutter Avenue, Rutland Road, to connect with the L and V trains. That's another thing I didn't mention in the last video, this new connection between Livonia and the Livonia and Junius, that new connection. Because the MTA hasn't made that. The only connection the 3NL have is at 14th Street in Manhattan, right here. I feel like the MTA really just should do like another transfer. Would be really useful and help people out. The 5 train was extended in Brooklyn and has a couple new stops. It was extended, now runs on Flatbush to run to Kings Plaza, where it can connect with the V to the Rockaways and like other parts of Brooklyn. So it stops at Avenue I, East 38th Street, Avenue M, East 46th Street, and then Kings Plaza. Because the V train serves this stop right here, Avenue O. Alright, so now I'm going to go on to the 6 train. The 6 train went through a major sort of like reconstruction, and I'll show it to you for starters. Well, not really for starters, but what I did basically was I sent it along the route of Interstate 95, and then it curves off, and has a new transfer between the 5 and 6 at Boston Road, Baychester Avenue, and runs to Wakefield 241st Street, where it will merge with the 2. So it now runs via, this is Baychester, it now runs on Baychester Avenue. In the old outside world, this is where the M train ran. This was the M train's terminal. It was the longest line. Anyways, so I'm going to show you the one last line, and that's the 7. The 7 train went through a major sort of like, it has a ton of new stops. It has a new transfer to the L now it terminates at 14th Street, 11th Avenue with the L train. So it now stops here. And now what it does is it remains so after Main Street, it has a new transfer at Parsons Boulevard to the M a few blocks away. And then curves south on Parsons Boulevard for a while. And then curves into Casino Park. And then again runs on Casino Boulevard to its terminal at Hoover Avenue in Briarwood. So anyways, that's going to be all for today's brand new subway video. Go check out part 1 if you haven't already. I'll put a link in the description. Anyways, have a good day, and I'll see you all next